Good day, everyone. So our topic for today is ICT Project for Social Awareness. So we're very excited to discuss this topic. Why? Because now that the world is full of technology, we should know how to use it properly and responsibly so we can have a better and safe place to live in and to have a better future. So before we proceed to the topic, let me introduce myself and my teammates. My name is Maureen Stephanie Dendriano Ani.
I am Sharon Fahada.
My name is Pia Marie Silencio.
My name is Leonard Cantillo.
Ako si Carlaban Oreta Subiri.
Ako nga pala si Franz Pulpolito.
And we're going to report the Module 8 titled ICT Project for Social Awareness. Do you know that the apps you use every day like Facebook, IG, TikTok, and even Google is a powerful tool for social change?
But how?
Well, that is because they are all example of ICT project for social awareness.
So what is ICT Projects for Social Awareness?
ICT is a technology used to spread and promote information about important social issues. In other words, this technology will help us to be informed and aware about all the social issues that is happening around us. In today's era, we no longer need to rely on newspaper, listen to the radio, or read books to know what is happening. Because in just one click, you can access all the information that you need. ICT Project for Social Change means using technology to help a group or organization to achieve goals. For example, the Plan International. The goal of Plan International is to educate young Pilipino para ma-prevent yung mga teenage pregnancy and malaman nila yung mga dapat nilang malaman as a babae. So, the Plan International created this OK app. This OK app is all about tracking your period, no? Para malaman mo kung saan pwede kang mas malaki yung chance na mabubuntis ka or hindi, ganon. Para ma-prevent nga yung teenage pregnancy. And if may question ka about sa menstrual cycle mo, pwede ka dun magtanong. So magandang idea yung ginawa ng Plan International because they use the ICT to inform the young Filipino na merong ganito na pwedeng matrack yung period mo. And the project aims to make it easier to share information. And like I said, in just one click, you can access all the information you need. And kahit nasa Manila ang sender at nasa Mindoro ang receiver, kaya nilang makipag-communicate sa isa't isa. And ICT project is a collaborative effort. Ang ibig sabihin naman na yun is this is a teamwork. It is a people work together. It is a big project, so hindi mo kailangan mag-isa kasi mapapagod ka kapag mag-isa ka lang. And sabi nga nila, no man is an island. So, mas mahihirapan ka lang if mag-isa ka. Pero pag marami kayo, is mas mapapadali yung project na yon. ICT project should be planned well. It is really important to plan everything carefully. Because by doing this, you can avoid problems and you can ensure that your project will be success. Naintindihan niyo na ba kung ano ang ICT project? If naintindihan niyo na, paano naman kung tayo na ang gagawa ng ICT project? Alam niyo ba kung anong mga dapat isaalang-alang? What should be included in the plan? First, define key individuals and point person in different categories. In other words, know your teammates. Alamin mo kung sino ang leader and members mo. And para mas organized, list mo kung anong pangalan nila, and roles and responsibilities nila. Or para mas madali, make a tables like this. Second, summarize the general goal and direction of the organization. It means ensuring that everyone on the team know and understand the purpose and the goal of the project. So everyone know what the direction that the organization is trying to do. Third, having summary of existing ICT facility. It means you're going to look at the strengths and the weaknesses of your project that you will do. Or if you have a current project that you've done before, you will identify its strengths and weaknesses and figure out what to fix so you can improve your upcoming project. Fourth, list all the concern and issue on the current situation of the organization. It means list all the possible problems that you think that the project might encounter. It is like making what could go wrong list. And this list will help everyone to remember what to improve so the project will be success. For example, if you think the project will be gonna hard to use on phones, remind the team that make it easier to use on phone. Do you understand? Fifth, include the capability of the plan to be useful in the near future. It means when you create an ICT project, make sure to make it useful in a long time. Don't just think what people need right now, but think what people need in the future. And make sure that the project that you will make is can be used by anyone, no matter what phone they have, even if it is old or new phone. Just remember this: when you create a project, make sure it will be useful not just for this year, but for many years.
Classify the type of ICT service that the group will develop. Dito, kailangan mo tukuyin kung anong uri ng serbisyo ng ICT. Kailangan mo pagplano ng mabuti ang application na gagamitin mo para matiyak na mahusay ang paggamit ng mga resources. Determine the resources needed before starting the project. Kailangan mo munang alamin kung ano ang mga resources na kailangan bago simulan ng project. Alamin mo rin ang mga mahalagang resources nito, including the training and support needed by the development team in the plan. Kailangan ng development team na suriin ang kanilang mga kasanayan at kumuha ng pagsasanay kung kinakailangan para matiyak ang matagumpay at makumpleto ang project na to. Prepare procurement documents and lists. Dito kailangan mo maganda ng mga listahan ng mga materials at mga gamit na kailangan para sa project na gagawin. Kailangan mo ring suriin ang mga suppliers at pag-process nito. Consider the purpose budget and Gantt chart. Timeline at budget ng project para matapos ito ng maayos at sa tamang panahon. Dapat sapat din ang pondong nilalaan dito.
Prepare a summary of all initiatives. This contains a lookup table of all activities that should be done. Some groups call this the to-do list. The activities are stored in a list of format chronologically. The list dictates the activities that are already done and activities that should be done next. Ang lookup table daw po ay dito nakalagay yung mga sunod-sunod na activities na gagawin. Para dito din po yung nakalagay na yung mga tatapusin at kung ano yung dapat pang tapusin. Pangalawa po ay prepare a summary of activity schedule and budget. This combines your to-do list with your timeline and budget, showing when each task will happen and how much money is specifically allocated for it. Ito ay parang to-do list din po to-do list din na pero nakasulat po ang budget at schedule kung kailan gagawin. Ang budget po ay kung magkano ang nakalaan ditong pondo para malaman nila kung magkano lang yung kanilang kayang gastusin sa paggawa ng project na yun. At ang schedule naman po ay para malaman nila kung kailangan dapat tapusin ang project na iyon hanggang kailan lang. Pangatlo naman po ay identify the risks associated with the activities and contingencies. Think about what could go wrong during project and what your backup plan is for each potential problem. Kailangan daw po paggagawa po tayo ng project ay meron tayong plan A at meron tayong plan B. Meron din po tayong plan C. Na kung sakaling magka-problema po tayo sa plan A ay meron tayong susunod na plan B. At kung magkamali ulit tayo sa plan B ay meron naman tayong plan C. Para na sa gayon maiwasan ang mga problemang haharapin. Pang-apat naman ay have a general integration of the plan. This is the plan how you combine all different pieces of the project that might be developed separately. It's about making sure everything works together as one complete system. Kapag gagawa po tayo ng plano ay kailangan mayroon tayong integration plan para kung sakaling magkaiba-iba kunyari sa isang proyekto may iba't ibang engineer. Kapag may integration plan po ay hindi mababago yung iba't ibang mga gawain katulad na lang po sa pag mahabang blood control, mga ilang panometro at pinaghati-hati po yung mga engineer. At minsan po pag walang integration plan ay hindi po pantay-pantay ang mga ginagawa ng blood control. Mayroong mataas, mayroong mababa.
Demographic is described as factual information that is gathered from user of the ICT application. The information can be categorized into different labels such as age, gender, income, religion, and profession. Demographic is used to learn the characteristic of the target audience and the key feature that designer or publisher of the application can capitalize on to effectively design the application. Ano nga ba ang demographics? Demographics is kinagather mo yung tao based sa edad at kasarian nila. Halimbawa, ang pagpupromote ng damit ay nakadepende sa kung sino ang target nila. Mahalaga ang pag-aaral ng demographics tulad ng edad at kasarian upang makagawa ng epektibong strategy. Sa ulat na ito ay talakayin natin kung paano na nagkakaiba ang paraan ng pagpupromote ng damit batay sa edad at kasarian nila. Lalaki, mas gusto nila ang mga simple at komportable na damit. Babae, mas interesado sila sa uso at kulay at estilo. Mga kabataan, 13 pababa, mas naaakit sila sa mga bagong trends at murang presyo. At ito naman yung mga adults, mga 30 to 40. Pinipili ang comfort at durability kaysa sa trend.
Psychographic is understanding people based on their interests, opinions, and lifestyle, rather than just facts like age or location. It helps figure out what people like and what by looking what they talk about, share, and think. You can find this out by watching them, asking questions in interviews or oral written surveys, or having group discussion. Graphics ay ang pag-unawa ng mga tao batay sa kanilang interes, opinion at pamumuhay at hindi lang sa simpleng datos tulad ng edad o lokasyon. Nakatulong ito para malaman kung ano ang gusto ng mga tao at kung ano ang hinahanap nila sa pamamagitan ng pagtingin kung ano ang kanilang pinapag-usapan at binabahagi at iniisip. Maaari itong malaman sa pamamagitan ng pagmamasid sa kanila, pagtatanong o pag-interview. Halimbawa, kung ang demographic ay tumutukoy base sa edad, kasarian o trabaho o sakita o mga lugar. Pero ang psychographic ay mas malalim na dahil may mas malalim dahil ito ay nakabase sa mga ugali, lifestyle ng tao at pananaw ng tao. Halimbawa, ang demographics ay babae, 20 years old, sa basta nag-aaral. Pero ang psychographics info ay mahilig ka sa K-pop, madalas kong bumibili sa online, mahilig kang mag-post about sa mga sa mga travel mo, at naniwala ka sa sustainable living. At kung nagmamarket ka naman po, ay mas makakatulong ang psychographic para malaman kung ano ang produkto o serbisyo na tangkilikin nito. Kasi hindi lang sa edad o lugar ang babatayan kundi sa pag-interest ng lifestyle nila. Ano po?
So now we will talk about designing and copywriting for ICT projects. This is the most important thing or process bago mo i-upload or i-publish ang ICT projects nyo. So ano ang tawag doon? Ang tawag doon ay copywriting. Copywriting is a process of checking errors of the content of your projects. So it means i-revise mo siya at i-edit bago mo siya i-publish. And merong tips and pointers paano gawin ang copywriting. First is split paragraphs into fewer sentences. So ibig sabihin nun, yung mahahabang paragraphs na nakakatamad basahin is i-split mo siya into fewer sentences para hindi natamarin ang mga readers mo or audience na magbasa ng content nyo. The second tip is split complex sentences into smaller ones. That means na yung may mga complex sentences, yung malalalim is gagawin mo siyang simple so that may intindihan ka agad ng audience mo yung content o kung ano yung pinaparating ng ICT projects nyo. Third tips is highlight keywords. That means yung mga kapag nag-visit kayo ng website, mayroong mga naka-bold fonts na words, yun ang tinatawag na naka-highlight na keywords. So that, ginagawa yun sa copywriting para hindi na mahirapan yung mga audiences na hanapin yung information na kailangan nila. So, the last tips and pointers to do copywriting is use subheading to identify subsections of the application websites. So, dito, meron ako i-represent na example. Kung meron kayong makikita dyan na kulay green, yung mga kulay green na yan, ang tawag dyan ay subheadings. Kapag ginap mo yung isa dyan, isa sa kanila dyan, merong lalabas na new information na connected doon sa tinap mong isang subsection. Ginagamit yan ng copywriting o ginagawa sa copywriting para mas mapadali yung paghahanap ng information ng mga audience and also para naka-organize yung contents ng isang project.
Like I said earlier, technology is very helpful in today's era because ICT is useful in many ways, like spreading news, easily access to information, to communicate, to study, and many more. There's a lot of things that the technology help us in our life, our daily life. And ICT is fast and effective way to get information. Just like I said earlier, then ulit, in just one click sa Google, sa TikTok, sa Facebook, sa YouTube, and Twitter, and sa lahat ng apps meron ka sa cellphone mo, isang pindot mo lang, makukuha mo na yung information na gusto mong makuha. Also, did you know that even government and businesses uses ICT or internet, social media to provide services, information, and spread their message to us? So, here are some examples of using ICT for social change. First, Philippines Say No to Drugs. Second, United Nations Office on Drugs and Crimes. Third, National Citizen Movement for Free Elections. And lastly, Philippine Animal Welfare Society. So, let me explain what is Philippines Say No to Drugs. Philippines Say No to Drugs, it is a campaign here in the Philippines na kung saan ine-educate tayong mga Pilipino para ma-prevent or ma-reduce ang drug abuse dito sa Pilipinas. And it is also connected to Dangerous Drugs Board na kung saan isang organization sila na part ng government agency under the office of the President of the Republic of the Philippines. So basically, the DDB use website and technology to share information about their campaigns, programs, and the danger of drug abuse. Ang mga gaya na to ay Barkada Kontra Droga, National Youth Congress or Drug Abuse Prevention and Control, Drug Abuse Resistance Education Program, Kids Against Drug Programs, Drug Abuse Prevention Program for Transport Group, and lastly,
Nationwide Caravan of Youth Against Drugs.
So, lahat ng nabanggit ko kanina ay nasa loob lang siya ng website ng Philippines Say No to Drugs. So, lahat ng yon ay aaralin natin isa-isa. Una, Barkada Kontra Droga or Peer Groups Against Drugs. This is a programs that targets young people or teenagers who are not in school or yung mga taong hindi nakapag-aral, mga kabataan na hindi nakapag-aral. And the government want to help these teenagers to have a good life and to learn how to spend their time on doing good things for themselves and for the community instead of using drugs and wasting their life on drugs. Second, the National Youth Congress on Drug Abuse Prevention and Control. It is a 3-day event facilitated by or organized by the DDB and promoted it in the Philippine Say No to Drugs websites. The main purpose of this is to create an event where young people can meet, connect, and learn about drug abuse prevention. The goal is to educate and empower young people to become part of the solution of these drug abuse issues. Also, the event includes learning, activities, workshops, and a team building exercise. Third, Drug Abuse Resistance Education or DARE programs is a collaborative effort between Department of Education and National Police where the teachers and the trained police officer teach elementary students in public schools how to solve problem without turning into drug abuse. Fourth, Kids Against Drugs program. These programs is anti-drug programs or activities na para sa mga bata na ginagawa nila yon tuwing Children's Month every October, and the goal is to teach kids what are the effect of drugs and how to prevent it. PIF, Drug Abuse Prevention Program for Transport Group. This program is for the safety of our commuters and motorists. The goal of this program is to reduce and prevent accidents. And chinecheck din nila ang mga driver ng bus, ng tren, ng jeep, ng taxi, and even the conductor, chinecheck nila yan para lang sa kasiguraduhan ng ating kaligtasan ng mga commuters, safety ng mga commuters natin. And also, it is a joint effort by LTFRB, ng LTO, ng DOLE, ng PIDEA, at ng DOH. And lastly, Nationwide Caravan of Youth Against Drugs. This program is created by the DDB and National Youth Commission na nakafocus sa isang caravan with 1,400 members na galing sa iba't ibang communities, organizations, schools, and universities. Ang isang caravan ay umiikot or nagtatravel sa iba't ibang cities or provinces para lang mag-campaign or to inform the youth na may iba't ibang paraan or activities or alternative task na pwede nilang gawin kaysa gumamit ng mga prohibited drugs. So, I hope na intindihan nyo lahat ng in-explain ko kanina. Basta, tandaan nyo lang na ang Philippine Say No to Drugs ay isang website na binubuo lahat ng mga programs and campaigns na ito. So, next topic is about
United Nations Office of Drugs and UNODC. These are United Nations UN members, organization dedicated to the issues brought upon the drugs trafficking and drug abuse. This organization use ICT by devising a website to fulfill its goals. That purpose campaign logistics by agency are the following. Ito daw ay isang organisasyon na United Nations na nakatuon upang maglutas ng pagpupuslit ng droga. Gumagamit din ito ng impormasyon at communication at technology tulad ng paggagamit ng mga paggawa ng mga website upang makamit nila ang mga layunin. World Drug Campaign. This is a campaign done to save this youth from drugs abuse and help they say no to drugs. Layunin nilang protektahan ang mga kabataan mula sa pag-aabuso ng droga at hikayatin sila tanggihan ang droga. National Anti-Corruption Campaign. This is one of the campaign of UNODC in collaboration with the United Nations Development Program, UNDP, to fight corruption and power abuse around the world. International Anti-Corruption Campaign. Ito ay isang inisyatibo ng UNODC sa isang pakikipagtulungan sa United Nations Development Program, United Nations, UNDP upang labanan ang korupsyon at pag-aabuso sa kapangyarihan sa buong mundo. Blue Heart Campaign Against Human Trafficking. This is a campaign that aims to involve everyone to condemn human trafficking around the world. Furthermore, that campaign encourage everyone to help victims of human trafficking. Ang Blue Heart Campaign Against Human Trafficking, ito ay isang kampanya na idisenyo upang hikayatin ng mga tao, kundihanin ang mga human trafficking at suportahan, lalo-lalo na ang mga biktima.
National Citizen Movement for Free Election or NAMFREL. This is election watchdog organization formed to ensure peaceful and truthful election. Dito naman sa NAMFREL or National Citizen Movement for Free Election. Ito naman yung nangangalaga sa mga halalan or sa mga vote ng mga tao para siguraduhin safe at fair sa mga tumatakbo para sa mga gobyerno.
And the last examples of using ICT for social change is Philippine Animal Welfare Society, also known as PAWS. Ano yung ginagawa ng organization ito? This organization, tinutulungan nila yung mga hayop na naaabuso at they provide shelters para sa kanila. And also, nag-spread sila ng information para ma-report yung mga naaabuso ng hayop at yung mga netizen ay makapag-donate makapag-donate para matulungan yung mga hayop. Kaya kung gusto mong mag-donate, you can contact, pwede ka pumunta sa PAWS sa website ng PAWS. O kung gusto mo mag-adopt ng aso, pusa, is pwede ka rin pumunta sa PAWS. You can contact them. And that's the end of our discussion. Thank you.